Hello everybody, it's Morgan again. We are on Cyrene. We're visiting one of my afternoon hangouts. I'm spending time on the planet here. It's I believe they're an SSI group. It's on the Sweat Circle at let me make sure I get this right, because it's not unlike me to get this sort of thing wrong. Let's look here. You go all the way down to the bottom of your list, and it's the Zen Turcano border teleporter. It's right up in here. We'll use the big map here so you can see everything. It's right over here. And excuse me a second. It is sort of the crafting area of the planet. There's a lot of crafting missions to be had up here. There's missions to get various textures and there actually is it's the final leg, or it's the reward in a hunting mission that happens back over here over the hill. The final leg, it's the Zen Psych something or other. You have to collect 50k sweat and then turn in 80k sweat, and you wind up getting a sync chip. It's a synchronization chip 1. I don't know if I have it on me or not. Let's look and see. No, I don't have it on me. But it also entitles you to kill a mob over here, which, you know, that was the only reason why I waded through the whole 50k sweat thing. I had enough to be able to turn in the 80k right off the bat if it was allowed, but you have to collect 50k yourself. You know, there's a counter that stays on your screen, or you know, that it keeps up with what you actually collect. And so you can't just buy sweat, or if you have some in storage, just skip to the front of the line, you know. And that actually entitles you to go to this NPC that's over there, that's a summoner. He will summon a level 50 Sky Wraith. Pretty sure it's a Sky Wraith. And from what I've seen on the kill time, no. I think I might have jumped the gun there. I'm real bad about that. Especially if I happen to be talking to somebody, chatting with somebody. I'm real bad about as soon as I see some red text up on the screen, it's kill time. And it might not have been dry. It was dry when I first started, but excuse me. I'd have to go back and look at the tape and see if it really was. Right to our left, or just to our left, over there, there is a spawn of young tree dragons. Just to our right, there is a spawn of larger tree dragons. Most of the time, if there's only about the same number as what's here, we'll just do the youngs. If there's a full circle, then we probably will bring in one of the larger ones. Let me look over there and see what there is. There's a guardian, there's a provider, there's an old, Guardian, I think, is the biggest maturity over there. And, we'll have a go at one of those. And it's not real uncommon for us to get a global, and sometimes if it's on one of those bigger ones, it can be kind of nice. Oh, there's Nady just joined us. Joe is the guy on the left of me here that's got a mask on. Nady is the one in the ninja outfit or whatever it is that he's got. Really nice people. Very pleasant. Nady, I think, is from France. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Joe. I think it might be Joe instead. I was chatting with him yesterday afternoon about the Twin event. If there's any microphone noise just then, it's because I can't fit my coffee mug between me and the mic. And I'm too lazy to raise up the arm. But anyway, we were chatting about the twin event. I was telling him about the video by Stevie B that I saw the other evening. How he was kind of well, he wasn't kind of, he was saying that the value of the tokens is really dropping because the big boys are starting to take the best guns out of, whatever trader setup they've got for them. I really haven't investigated where the list is, but he said there are, some high damage guns in there yet, but that the skill requirements are so high that, the skill requirements are extremely high, and the efficiency of the weapons is not high enough to really justify getting that weapon even if you had the skill, unless you were just buying it on speculation, thinking that because of the novelty, the scarcity of the item, you might be able to sell it for quite a bit somewhere else down the road. And do a little housekeeping here. Get all these things. I'm not putting them in any particular order, but my OCD requires me to put stuff in some kind of order, where you can see the names and such. Get them up there nice and neat, not overlapping. Just the kind of guy I am. Anyway, Stevie B's contention, and it makes sense, is that the value of the tokens is directly proportional to the merchandise that's available from the vendor. That when there were some really high efficiency weapons there, and if you thought that you had the potential to buy one, they were highly desirable, for you to buy. You might not be able to use it, but you might be able to sell it to somebody who thinks that they are, and because of the high damage, the high DPS, the high efficiency, and the scarcity of the item, that they would be willing to buy it from you, for a premium. It says the big boys are withdrawing those from the vendor, leaving the less desirable weapons, and then other stuff like mining equipment and that sort of thing. And whoa! you know, ore finders, amplifiers, uh, scopes, amps for guns, things like that. Accessories for these other tools. And that, you know, these tokens were, you know, at a high premium when everything first started, when everybody had high hopes of getting something sweet. And as these things are disappearing, people's interest is waning a little bit, and the value is going down, and that things are selling for a whole lot less now than what they were the first week or two or three of the event. And that they're liable to get real cheap as the event drags on. I don't know how long it's supposed to last. I guess maybe till the first of the year. Since it's a 20th anniversary event, I guess it'll be on for the entire year. Well, I've got maybe 150 tokens, and you know, I really had no expectations, no dreams of ever being able to actually cash it in for something, but I thought maybe, you know, I'd be able to sell my tokens for a pretty good price. And I suppose anything that I sell them for would be profit, so, you know. But, you know, the chance of making a killing on them, you know, that's kind of out the window. It was just something to think about, you know. It was kind of a bummer of a video, but, you know, it's nice to have your eyes open, but it's not necessarily nice to actually see what is happening or what has happened. I offered my tokens for a pet apiece at the circle over here the other day, or actually yesterday. Although for the purposes of the video, it doesn't really mean anything when I say yesterday. Joe asked me why I was asking a pet for him, and I told him, honestly, it's because it's easy to compute. I've got 100 and something tokens. It's 100 and something pet. No higher math involved. But anyway, just really enjoy coming to this circle just because it's relaxing. There's no expectations of getting a global or a Hoff or anything on these little mobs. So far, except for maybe some shrapnel. I don't know how much shrapnel I had to begin with. Put that token down there. And I've got 200 bottles of sweat so far. So far I've got shrapnel and muscle oil and oil residue. Every once in a while somebody will score a small weapon, and whoever's running the circle will take it and split the TT value of it. Which in a way isn't completely fair, because if it does have some markup, it's something that should be shared by the circle. But on the other hand, these are sort of a charity event, you know, and assuming that the SSI is receiving the benefit of the markup as opposed to the individual that's officiating the circle. It's okay with me. Have no issues with that. I apologize for my cough. Since my heart surgery that I had a while back, I've had this cough it's a drainage thing. I have these diuretics that I'm taking, and it causes a lot of drainage, and you wind up coughing that crap up. It's more of a pain in the butt than anything else. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. I over at the vendor not far from the 101 supply depot, there's a little hut where these Zen guys are, and the supply depot TT area has a pet training facility there, you know, and not far from that is a little lean-to hut that has a couple of guys in it, and one of them gives a couple of missions for either taming or turning in 4 different mobs. The two easier missions are for training or turning in so many of the errants, the little pony thing that I've got sitting behind me there. The other little mob is for Panelon. And then the bigger half of it is for Mangchangs and can't think of rhino beetles, I think that's it. And that's way over my head. I can't do that. So the errants, you only have to have, it only requires small whip, and I happen to have a ring that gives you a little boost on your taming, and then I have a certain amount of skills acquired from the years. And so, I've been collecting these things, and you get zoology skill for all of this stuff, and I get the amount of skill for the taming of 35 of the errants, and then there's so much skill that you get for turning in 13 of them. And so I have extra errands, and if I wanted, I could go over to the taming corral there, and I could run them through the little essence converter and get essence for the leftover pets. Or if I don't want to go to the trouble of taming more the next day, I can save the ones that I tamed this time and didn't turn in. I can turn them in next time for the zoology skills, and that would give me a head start on the next day. But I'd been taming these things and trading them in, and taming and trading them in, and every once in a while I just process them. I thought, well, I'll tame one and I'll keep it. And so keeping it's one thing, but then it has to stay on the planet unless you get it up over level 7. So I've been working on get this one to level 7 so I can pack it around with me. I have a number of pets that are spread out over the planets. Probably most of them, or at least half of them, are lower than level 7, so I couldn't take them anywhere if I wanted to. Some of them you can't take off a planet. I forget which ones there are, but there are some that are planet bound. There's one in particular, but for the life of me I can't remember what it is right now. But I trained up my Wolpertinger. You know, that's a Cyrene pet that you can get through a mission. I trained it up to whatever level you need to get it off planet, so if I want to, I can take it off planet. None of these things really have any sort of extra buff that I can use. I think the basic thing is that you can get a buff on taming other critters. You know, if you're out taming, then you can spawn the one that you've got. If it's up over so high, and then it'll give you an improved chance of training these other mobs faster. The one that I always keep with me is Spot, my leopard. I've had Spot for 8 years. Had her since 2015. I've had her since pretty much since they first came out. I know I started to tame them over there when they first came out. He came out on Entropia. This, I don't know if this was in that first batch of them, or if I got this one later and just started working on it. But she's up to level 20. Anyway, Spot's my main squeeze as far as the pets are concerned. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. We've been talking entirely too long. I just wanted to show you the pet circle over here, and encourage you to come to Cyrene because it's a very good planet. And as long as you're over here, come join the circle. If your skill level's below a certain amount, they will buy your sweat for you, and if they don't have what they consider enough buyers, you know, they always, you know, they buy from 9 or 10 people every day, and if they don't get enough of whatever number it actually is, then they'll actually buy from anybody for their price, not your price. But still, it's reasonable. You know, it's going to a good cause. It's more than you probably are able to get on the open market. And having a pleasant time while you're here. So, and you have a chance to make a couple of pets. So, what can be better than that? Anyway, I'll let you guys go. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your patronage, and if you haven't already joined the channel, subscribe, and if you haven't, hit that like button, and if you like it, I would appreciate it, if you'd hit that button, or if you're just feeling magnanimous, hit the damn button anyway. It'll make me feel good. Anyway, I'll let you guys go, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.